Okay, next I want to talk about using the different lasso tools that you have at your disposal in the toolbox here. And going over to the toolbox, we just select the lasso tool. And the lasso tool really is just for when you want to select a broad area in your image. So what you would do with the lasso tool is simply select your beginning area and then hold down the mouse and just you're going to, in a freehand sense, select whatever area you want to select. And once you let go of the mouse, it will create a dashed area. And once you select that area, well, essentially what you're doing, you're isolating that area, number one. But if you want to copy and paste that area, you could do that as well. But again, if you just want to select that area to isolate that area, and you want to do is, for example, a color correction on that particular area, that's one way you could do that. I'm going to let go of that. The second lasso tool is called the polygonal lasso tool. Now the polygonal lasso tool, as you can see, has more straight edges on it, and that's really when you have an edge or an image that is more square, although you can use it on irregular images as well. For example, if I were to zoom in on this flower, and what I would do, I would again select my starting point and hold down, and as you make a click, I'm clicking and I'm really just going around this image. Remember before when we were making a path using the path tool, we were doing a simpler function. But in this case we're just making a selection and going around the image and selecting what it is we want to select. Again, it's making more of a straight edge. So it's not a perfect use of it in this example, but again, this is just one way that you can use that. Again, you have to go around the entire image, and I'm not going to do all that. So I'm going to say I did. I'm just going to go up here. But as you can see, once you let go of the mouse, it is going to then make a selection of that area, which you could then copy and paste, or again, you could when you use a selection tool or marquee tool, you are essentially isolating that area to work on. So really you're working on that area independently of the rest of the photo. Now I'm going to let go of that image, and then the third lasso tool is called the magnetic lasso tool. Now the magnetic lasso tool is an excellent tool because it will allow you to select an area magnetically on the perimeter of the object, and it's like a magnet. It will automatically, without you trying very hard, select the edge of that color tone that you're working with. And so I'm not really trying very hard. I'm just going around the image. As you can see, that line is in essence snapping to the flower, in this case, the edge of that flower. And thus the name, the magnetic lasso tool. And so it's a tool that you can use to very easily select an area. Again, I'm going around the leaf here. I'm not really trying very hard to select this area. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to cheat a little bit, go around the edge of this flower. But as you can see, it's really selecting the edge of that image. So I don't have to be so careful, in other words, in selecting this image. And so it's very intuitive in this case, and it knows where the edge of that image is. Again, I'm just really using this in a very general sense, but it's really being very precise. And then there you go. You have that image selected. And again, once you let go of the mouse, it's going to make the dashed line around that. So you can either copy and paste that image. I'll tell you what, let me back off a little bit. If I wanted to copy, doing Command C and Command V, and then I have in essence copied that flower, and I could move it somewhere else in the photo if you needed to do something like that. Or going back, let me open up the history. I'm going to open the history palette. We've used this before. I'm going to move back to where I had it and see. And that's one of the ways, again, using the history tool that we've mentioned before, you can go back in your process here and go back to a certain point that you need to maybe modify an image at that particular point. So again, if you wanted to, for example, just change the intensity of this color, for example, I would open up the curves palette, and I could add more color to that. I could add less color to that. But again, I'm just isolating that image using the lasso tool. So you have the 3 lasso tools. Again, you have the lasso tool, you have the polygonal lasso tool, and you also have the magnetic lasso tool. 3 very useful tools in working in Photoshop.